if you start by looking at I think the three key things. I think if you ask a lot of people here, what do we do? I think probably most people, well, you've been here for a few days, you understand quite clearly what we do as a business. If you then sort of dig a bit deeper and say, how do we do it? We've talked a lot about compression and different things and artifacts and resolutions, and we've gone, I think, quite technical. And as I said to everybody yesterday, we're very much presenting to quite a mixed audience. I think it's important that everybody gets a good understanding of it. But fundamentally, when you get past that kind of how do we do it, and you'll have seen technically how do we do it firsthand here, then ultimately we look and we start to understand, okay, why do we do it? Why are we fundamentally doing what we're doing? And our skill is bringing together all the technologies. So you'll have seen firsthand today in the car park, the screens and how all that technology comes together. We're there to deliver an experience. And that's what our business is all about, because people don't actually buy the technology that we deliver. They buy the effect it has and what that ultimately delivers to the stadium as a whole. So we've obviously installed a lot of product in a lot of venues. We've built up I think a very good reputation in terms of what we do and delivering a lot of that technology day in, day out and making it work. But we don't just do venues. I mean, we actually provide equipment and technology for around 3,000 events a year in the UK and Europe. So there's an awful lot of technology that goes behind it. So I just want to show you a short video just to give you a bit of a feel for some of the challenges that we sometimes have on a match day and what that brings into play and how that looks like. If we can roll the video. So that just gives you a good idea of some of the work that goes in on any given event, that being football obviously, but it gives you a good idea of how that starts to come together and really what we're trying to do. Fan zones and beanbacks are a very obvious and easy way to engage people, but actually are probably not used anywhere near as much as we can do. We go to the other end of it where we're covering events, be they beanbacks, be they various ceremonies that we do. And again, it's about bringing those fans together in some sort of fan zone and engagement. You've seen the trucks outside. We've got over 30 trucks now in Europe. I want to quickly just pick up on our concourse proposition. So a little over 2 years ago, we purchased half of a business called 11 Sports Media. They were a really impressive bunch of guys, locally based, who really understand the value of platforms and how to deliver those platforms and understand where you can actually create that engagement, how you manage that engagement, and most of all, how you commercialize that engagement. And we really then have rolled that out at a huge amount of stadiums where we provide a very dedicated solution, all provided from the building, all sat within our data center. So we're able to pull lots of content together, and I think that becomes more and more immersive. Then we've got StatZone, which you'll all have seen in our dome. And StatZone is our latest product as 11, which is very much about taking the whole concept of stats and interactivity within the venue. It's our own platform, which means it's ultimately very, very flexible. We can very much scale it for clubs. We can do different things with it, and it can be very much working across rugby, cricket, football, horse racing, etc. So it's ultimately a very flexible platform. We talked about Wi-Fi this morning and the whole Wi-Fi experience, and Vince has been really kind of taking time to take us through it and what we're trying to do. And I think we all understand everybody wants Wi-Fi. How do you deliver Wi-Fi? And actually, Wi-Fi gets back to the same problem as live venue almost, in as much as the Wi-Fi on its own is actually going to do nothing more than connect you to the internet. It's about how do we start to integrate more value into that experience, and how do we ultimately pull it together. And I think that the compelling proposition that we'll have across Wi-Fi with Vince and his team is very much saying, well, yeah, we'll connect you, but actually we're going to really dig deep. We're going to understand how those products go together and how we can make them all kind of deliver that content, to getting back to delivering that immersive, engaging experience. LED screens, obviously the thing we tend to be most well known for. We did a huge amount last year. We worked very closely with Jeff Durbin, the commercial director at Lancashire County Cricket Club, and put a 60 square metre screen in there. And our work stretches, for those of you not aware, that we have offices in France, in Nigeria, and in Cape Town, and we work in a lot of developing areas within those markets. And this is one of our jobs that we've done out in South Africa. We did a number of the stadiums for the World Cup when it was last out there. And again, back to more permanent screens in venues. So again, horse racing, we're now starting to install more and more permanent screens and put more infrastructure within those environments as well. So we come right the way back down. We've sorted and solved a lot of the challenges around the technology. The technology's there. We've connected the stadiums. We talked about managing the assets, and now it's very much about the actual content. So, we've got rid of all those challenges, all the issues of gigabit pipes and the compression and pictures and resolution, and we've got the content at the right place at the right time, and we're working with all the right partners. But actually, what does it mean? Because fundamentally, it is about engagement. Going back to what I said earlier about what we do is entertain people when they stop working. So just want to show you a short video about some of the content that we have created for customers and that experience that we try and bring them. it's about really taking that content and how can we build that content and how can we take that passion, that engagement, and deliver it on every platform we've got. So Digital Ribbon is one of our newer products that we installed. We became the first company ever to install it in a club last year, where we put it into and installed it into Cardiff, and worked very closely with the team at Cardiff there to create an immersive experience. We're also very well known for our digital perimeter systems, work very closely with the leading provider of those in the UK, Sport5, and work providing both the technology and making sure that technology works, and in conjunction with themselves, who manage the right side of it, delivering very, very good, stable platforms to clubs with 13 systems installed in British football. We've also got a new product which is crowd-facing, which is taking the concept of digital perimeter and putting digital perimeter on the rear side as well, and how that works. And that, again, provides an engagement tool. We've installed that at West Bromwich Albion, and they've used it very successfully in being able to message the fans, engage the fans, and just get some interaction with the fans. And then really I want to talk about just a little bit around Total Stadium Takeover, which is one of our latest products that we've deployed and spent some considerable time looking at. So we're able to suddenly have every digital display medium in the stadium at the same time display the same brand. And then once that brand goes over, it all changes back to being individual brands. And by that, I'm meaning everything. So I'm meaning the lounge monitors, the concourse monitors, the stat zone monitors from 11, the digital perimeter system, the crowd-facing perimeter system, the big screens in the stadium, the fan zone screens, and the digital ribbon. And again, Cardiff have been incredibly impressed with what that's done commercially, because it's allowed them to go to an engagement level with commercial partners that's been far greater than they previously had, because all of a sudden they've been able to say, look, we can put your brand over every medium that we've got, and we can deliver that in an instant, which is an incredibly powerful message to tie it all up. Just future technology, what we're looking at. One particular area that we've worked quite hard on and done a lot of research and done some interesting proof of concept. So talked before about we've got 13 clubs that use our perimeter system, and we're really trying to understand, actually, can we get more value from a perimeter system? Because at any one given time, only a bit of our perimeter system is actually on camera. So if we're only using 20% of it for television, that leaves 80% of it which could be used for club messaging, interactivity, social media interaction. So again, it's not always coming up with different assets, it's probably just trying to get the most out of existing assets for our customers. We've got a new product that we're going to be launching later this year, which is called the iconic H standing for hospitality. And it's essentially a box within a box, as I often describe it. And ultimately, it's a crossover product, I think is the best way to describe it. We've got some early proof of concepts that we're going to be starting to roll out around sports clubs and sports brands to understand how we can create a box within a box. There is space upstairs and there is space downstairs. And again, it's about using that for brands. So it may be that VIP customers who are arriving at a venue can go into this and do some sampling. It may be that there's a tie-up with a manufacturer that's working with the club, that then again, maybe a Samsung of this world, that someone can go in and touch and feel the electronics and things like that. So it's really just trying to extend that value beyond it. And that's really kind of the main bits I wanted to talk to you about today, is just show you some of the newer products we're doing, as well as what we're currently doing, give you a feel for where the future goes in our world and how we see we can deliver that bit more value. And ultimately how we deliver, the engagement through the technology that we've got, and by pushing those boundaries and continuing to deliver it, ultimately delivering better and better value for everybody. And I'll just wrap up and finish off with our product that you've probably most of you seen outside, which is one of our higher res products, which is a new digital Digiboard 6mm. So at the moment, 20 millimeter pixel pitch is the most common product that we tend to install in football clubs. And we talked today a lot about 4K, where we're going to have much higher resolution images. And again, we're moving more and more towards that. So again, we've got an early proof of concept product out there, which takes that product and ultimately gives better engagement, better quality in terms of what we're delivering on television.